Hello and welcome back to another segment here with Compass Insurance. I'm Gary Nolly, and I want to talk about a subject that comes up a lot of the time, especially this time of year as we get ready to approach or within the annual enrollment period. And that is the topic of, is it Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage? Which way should I go? What usually triggers this is a couple of things. One is there's a Facebook meme, or I should say a post that comes up every year, says it's from a healthcare worker, people share it, and it says, I'm in the healthcare field, stay away from Medicare supplements, they're terrible, all this other stuff. Well, that is coming from a very narrow perspective of somebody who, and I think they believe what they're saying. I'm saying they're lying, but they don't have a full appreciation for everything. They're only looking at it through a very small window or a very narrow scope. So I want to explain a little bit about this. Also, people get talking and somebody has read that and they tell somebody else, and next thing you know, I've got people calling me, asking me all these questions. Let me tell you how we operate and explain things and just how this works. So first of all, when you come to an independent agency, at least ours specifically, we represent companies, a variety of companies, a lot of companies, both on the Medicare supplement side as well as the Medicare Advantage side and the Part D prescription plans. So when we do a presentation with you, we explain both what a Medicare A and B is, what a Medicare supplement is, what a prescription plan is, and also what a Medicare Advantage is. And we explain the pros and the cons. We look at your particular situation, and usually within 30 minutes, people go from being very confused to basically understanding what is best for them. And oftentimes, I'd say in our case, probably 80% of the time, if not more, people choose the Advantage plan. I didn't tell them to buy the Advantage plan. We presented both sides, pros and cons. So why are people saying this? Well, if it's a healthcare worker, their perspective is perhaps they've tried with a particular company. And I don't think this necessarily applies to all companies, though they probably have a little guilt in what I'm about ready to say here to some extent, but they might need to get something pre-certified, which if you've ever been on health insurance, say through a group employer in the past, that happened then as well. So this is nothing new. It is a way to contain costs to keep providers from ordering unnecessary charges and the insurance company paying for that, which ultimately gets passed on to you in higher premiums, right? So they're to keep that in check and prevent fraud, waste, and abuse from occurring. So it's a checkpoint to make sure that there's a reason. Did they try the less expensive test that might have resulted in something? And even if they're denied, they can often be appealed. Now, could some companies abuse it? They can. If we experience that with a company, we're not going to recommend that company. We're going to know that, hey, listen, this all looks good, but here's what you'll run into, okay? If you want that company, we can't stop you from that. We'll just share personal experiences or share them from our, borrowed experiences from our customers and let you know about those things. So the companies that we're going to put you with, first of all, are going to have a big network. That's another complaint. They'll tell you you can only see certain doctors. They don't tell you can only see certain doctors. They have a network. Again, just like your group insurance did. The plans that we will normally recommend have a very robust, stable network, meaning specifically here in Central Indiana where we work, the plan has virtually every hospital in Central Indiana, and all of Indiana for that matter. There might be one or two exceptions throughout the whole state, but the network is very, very strong. If not, we're going to probably put it further down our list because you might run into some situations where somebody is out of network. So first of all, they're not going to tell you who to go see. They'll have a list. We'll check that list, and there's a very, very good chance your doctor's going to be on there. The companies that we use, we find that 90 to 98% of the providers are going to be in the network. Okay, there's some few stragglers, but most of the time they are. The pre-certifications, that's a part of the game. Typically on a Medicare supplement, Medicare, it's the government, they don't hold people accountable. So that's why you have runaway expense a lot of time on something like that. There's nobody checking. So yeah, it's easier to get things approved sometime because nobody's checking on it, which sounds good. Hey, listen, it's your money. Your money goes to Medicare. Your premiums go to Medicare. When they raise it, it's all because of expenses and costs. So if nobody's checking the expenses, it can lead to runaway costs. But not to get too deep into that, but that's some of the stuff that's behind that. It's just not a fact that it's terrible. It's going to leave you high and dry. Some people say, well, if you get an Advantage plan, you may never be able to go back to Medicare. That's not true either. Most people have a 1-year trial right. It's part of Medicare law. And it says, for most people, the first time they try a Medicare Advantage plan, whether that be the first time they enroll or at a later point in time, if they've gone from a supplement and once that price got up and they wanted to try an Advantage plan, they can try it for up to 1 year and retain their guaranteed insurability to go back to their old plan, or if they didn't have a plan, to get a plan from any company at a standard rate for their age, not rated up, no exclusions, anything. So you're protected. Medicare has built that in. Now, after that 1 year period, if you wanted to change, could you? You could. By the way, during that trial period, I could say you can change any point in time. So if it was 6 months into the plan, you decide that was a bad choice for you to be in that Advantage plan, you could go back to a supplement. After that year, you'd have to make that choice during the annual enrollment period. And yes, the Medicare supplement company, if you chose to apply with them, would ask you underwriting questions. There's no physical, no medical exams, but answer questions. And that could result in either being accepted or declined. So that is true there. But the Advantage plan, if you can't go back to it, is not going to leave you high and dry. So you're going to still have really good benefits there. Some people get nervous about it, but frankly, it's really nothing to be nervous, just having a good understanding of it. The other thing I will tell you, that the person that's online telling you why not to get the plan, they also only look at it, again, from one little event or a couple little events, and they don't know the whole picture. If you're making $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a month, $1,800 a month, and that's it for you, that's your Social Security, that's your income, and your Medicare supplement premium, if you're in your 80s, your premium is very easily $300 to $400 a month, plus a prescription plan. That's a lot of money to come out of your $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,800. It's not affordable. You're making choices between food and electricity bills and medicines when that much money is coming out of your monthly income. So why would a person spend $4,000 or $5,000 for a supplement and have that much of a burden on their finances when they could have an Advantage plan at probably no premium? And if they get the right plan, it will limit their out-of-pocket expenses, say, to $3,200, $3,500, $3,700, $4,000, worst case scenario. So you're either guaranteed to spend $4,000 or $5,000, or on the unlikely event that you have a major catastrophic event, you might spend up to, say, $3,700, $4,000. Plus you got all kinds of other benefits. So bottom line is, if you come in and you see us, we'll explain both options, give you the details, look at it specific for your situation, and we'll enroll you in whatever you feel makes the most sense for you. So want to find out more about that, reach out to us. First of all, follow us, like us, share all this information with your friends and on social media, and make sure you reach out to us if we can help you in any way. Thank you.